My Gavanan Melonin, and well met indeed. I'm Arachir Galaderthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. And welcome back to the same as we continue on as Enedwaith with episode number 9, which today, as ever, is brought to you live. Oh, it's highlighted that green box. I don't like that. We'll worry about that another day. Welcome. A quick recap of the events in this campaign are as follows. In the last episode, we fought a battle at the Bridge of Thaabad, and unfortunately, we lost. So Dunland has managed to hold it, but fortunately, Byrig has not yet reclaimed it, so it's still fair game, and we have a large army in the ship here, which is coming to take it back. We are also mustering a force down here, led by Machar, who's going to jump in that fort, head over the river once Admiral Rushian's free, and take back Caladir, thus leaving us only Byrig and Dunland left to unify the clans of Enedwaith. And that is where we are. That is an update for you all. Rohan and Isengard are still battling it out around this region, the Fords of Eisen, where they're toing and froing. So, Rohan, we're not really too worried about. I have no plans on allying with or breaking the peace. No, other way around. Breaking the war with Rohan, or indeed breaking the peace with Isengard. Fighting against Rohan is something that this channel rarely ever sees, so I have no interest in breaking that. Remember that I don't always do things, well, sometimes I do things because I don't pay all that much attention, and essentially I make errors. Other times I do things specifically to try and show off more stuff in the mod. So this isn't going to be a perfect way to play Enedwaith. The perfect way to play every faction is to ally with everyone around you. Hoover up all of the free provinces around you that you can, and then very, very specifically pick and choose our enemies one at a time. If you really want to make the game easy, that's how to do it. But obviously this episode is live streamed, and welcome to all those who are jumping straight in off the bat. Good morning. A quick weather update for you is that it is very sunny. And there's no breeze out there, so I'm actually looking forward to going for a run today, because it'd be nice to get out into that. And as the best Eurovision Song Contest song says, you should let the sun into your heart. It's from the 80s. It's easily the best. It's in German. It's called Lass die Sonne in dein Herz, and it is absolutely fantastic, and I listen to it all the time. Anyway, I think we can end the turn, so let us do that. Scotaith is gathering visual information, as is Rorkan. Yes, Jochen is also, and Dovhagen is down at Eisenrun. There we are. Right, we can end the turn. I actually, in my own real life, had benefit of the fact that we've been learning all of this Celtic and Gaelic names, because somebody that I needed to contact to confirm bank account details, she worked for a company, but her name was Kiva, but it was spelt Caoimhe, which obviously, for an English-speaking person looking at that, you would say Kaum, or maybe Kaumhe, but it's pronounced Kiva. And I knew that one, so unfortunately I didn't actually get to speak to her, and I spoke to her colleague, so I didn't get to impress her with the, oh hello, is that Kiva speaking? Because one tries. If you've got some language knowledge, you should absolutely flaunt it wherever you can. Don't hide it away. It's a skill, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Refugees flooding into Mithlond from the attack on Harlond come with ill news. The attack on the Outer Haven was only the beginning, and the enemy has a far greater and more elite force preparing for the final invasion of Mithlond. It will be here at the end of the season. That message shouldn't really pop up for us. So I need to look into that. So bear with me just 1 second. I can't cut this out, you see, because it's live. We're doing it live. That needs to not happen. Oh, no, I don't write it in my book anymore. I write it on my phone, because then I'm far more likely to remember it. Right. Bear with me just one moment. A message pops for all. Mithlond. That'll do. Perfect. And then I can put that on the list and it will get attended to at some point. Remember, as we go through today's 1.5 hours of pure DaC brilliance, start as we mean to go on, lie to oneself, do anything with confidence and people will believe you. As we continue on with today's proceedings, please do feel free to ask any questions you wish, whether they be DaC related, Lord of the Rings related, or indeed if you just have need of life advice. I mean, I can try. Do let me know and I will answer as best I can. Good morning from Devon. Good morning, Simon Chamberlain. That's a place to get locked down into. What I wouldn't give to be down there. I've used up all of the walking routes around where we live. I have all of the OS maps for this area, and I'm running out of footpaths that we can walk on that don't involve other people. Something that I should touch upon that many people have suggested, but of course, this is Galu. I do not min-max. But of course, I could massively reduce the corruption and issues in Buzradum and thus make it a money maker by simply moving my capital out of Alkfud. But I just don't like doing things like that. I just, Alkfud, it would feel wrong to change that as our capital. It's our capital. It's like playing as Gondor and changing Minas Tirith. Yes, I know financially it makes much more sense to have the capital be like here. But why would you do that? It's Minas Tirith. And I feel similar here, even though Alkford and all of Enedwaith is entirely made up, apart from the geographical region. Basically everything you're seeing is made up here. But no, so I'm not going to do that. So instead I'll just chuck the generals in there, forget about them, and that will solve our problems. Now, we are faced with the issues of Thaabad. How do we best deal with attacking the city? If we attack Captain Cole, then the army in the garrison, or the garrison army I should say, will rise up and we'll be able to fight them outside the city. We've got a fairly good army with 2 Filani war wagons. We've now got 3 archers, bare minimum. What's yon? Are you Clan Heralds? Yes, you are. I'd rather siege it and have these people attack me. But maybe this is probably the best course of action. We're going to go in. Good early morning from America. Berkeley Smith talking to someone else. Gally, will you release any new video from Age of Empires 2? New factions are a great opportunity to do that. I don't know. I'm so tempted. But at the moment, I'm afraid all of my non-DaC time is taken up entirely by Apex Legends. I'm so determined to actually be good at a multiplayer game for once that I'm plumbing all of my spare time into that game. I'm desperately trying to crack it. And I think Caspos, Chris and I have finally worked out how to climb the ranks. And we found a way that works. We've made it to Platinum 1 before. That's the highest we've ever got. But we did only start playing the game in November. And we made it to Platinum 1 in that first season. But now we need to go higher. Right, Cole has pikemen, wolf pikes, horsemen, spears, Eisenmach. See, he's got good forces, but again, there's no general, so his force will just melt away like butter. Similarly with the reinforcing army, spears, axes, berserkers. Dunlanding warband, they look pretty cool nowadays. And then, of course, Huntmaster Malmoir is how I would pronounce that, but that's definitely not how it's pronounced. Melmir, maybe. Huntmaster Melmir is therefore the faction heir, because I think that's what the Huntmaster is, if memory serves. Yes, it is. And the leader's called Lord or something like that. Right, let's do it. Let us do it. Oh, we didn't check what he had. We just looked at his name. Oh, he's got a load of trash. He doesn't have a single good unit. Oh, that's uplifting. The Berserkers obviously are good, but they're nothing really against arrow fire. And the Berserkers are matched almost perfectly by our Tauta. Although they are fairly high ranks. Well, that one isn't, but some of them are. Right, let's fight it out. Cheese the AI, attack the army outside the city. Yes, we are doing so, we are doing so. Good morning from Louisiana. Ah, good morning. Do you stick with your French heritage? Is there anything in Louisiana other than the name that reminds it of being French? Oh, no, most of the town names are French in Louisiana, aren't they? Isn't your state capital Baton Rouge? But I'm sure no one pronounces it Baton Rouge. Any indication of a version 5 release date, says Stelios. Good question, Stelios. I'm afraid the answer to that, as ever, is no. Absolutely no indication. I would really be surprised, talking actually seriously and not just saying 7 to you, I would be really surprised if version 5 releases earlier than the end of this year. We just don't take our time. We don't take our time. We just don't rush these things, and we have no need to. So, no, I'm afraid. No indication on version 5. Sit down and get used to version 4.5, because that's the best you're going to get for a long time. Right, now we attacked them. The first army's in front, the second army's coming in from behind on their left, and the third army should be over there. So everyone is in front of us. So taking this hill and sort of holding it is arguably our best strategy. Take everything that's a defensive unit and hold them together in a line. We'll move and we'll claim this little hill here. So don't be on fire at will. Oh, you're not. I've turned you to it, but don't be. Anything that throws a thing, stand behind that main line. And then that leaves us with the 3 Tauta to act as... Oh, I've grouped them bizarrely. To act as flankers. And then lastly, the 2 of these. Now remember that these Dovesheath Elders are actually really good in battle. They have good stats. There's hardly any of them, though. So they're only really good at striking the enemy. As flank infantry. That kind of thing.
The enemy have brought up more men.
Right, there we are. Right, let's... Oh, no, we've been absolutely shafted. Of course, they're coming in from our right-hand side. Bugger. Well, in fact, pretty much all of the enemy armies are coming in from our right-hand side. So. We are still on a nice little hill, though. Right, Touter, you're going to move forward. War wagons, you're going to move forward. What we're going to do is get the defensive line to set up facing that way. Because those are the armies we're more worried about. Not overly concerned about this little starting force. So I'll tell you what, no, we want the javelins to save for that later. So the Touter, we'll send the Touter in and the war wagons in to go and hit them. The archers will also start firing, so you guys can sprint. Heralds might be able to help as well, actually, because I don't really need their chanting ability, to be honest. Ballista. Why don't you walk over there, and then we'll set you up. Everyone is free to sprint. Let's speed this up. There we are, the Touter are making their way forward. Perfect, they cut the enemy off. Now, as someone has pointed out, war wagons are actually insanely strong against cavalry, so something that we can do without need to worry too much. Oh, and the cavalry does not want to charge the elders, because the elders are anti-cav. Oh, fantastic. Alright, don't go for them then. Don't go for them. Oh, let me undo my mouse so that we can scroll faster. I'd like you both to throw your javelins at these pikemen, and I'll try and monitor you. Alright, you made it out. Come back. There we are. Yeah, perfect. You're not running away, are you? Nope, and the archers are good. The Touter are coming back in. The mounted warband is breaking and running, but not before they did take a few down, sadly. There's the Eisenach axemen. There we are, the pikes are moving in on you, so just pull back. Oh, those pikes have been decimated. Absolutely shredded. Alright, archers. Ceasefire. Defensive line. I want you to move us further forward like this. Move the axe line forward as well. And archers take on top of this hill. And get the ballista crew further forward as well. Yeah, that army's going down. Nice and simple. Oh, Danish spears there we can hit, actually. Go and hit those. Keep throwing your javelins. Let's use up your javelins, then we don't have to worry about you as a javelin force. And then we're front on for the two main armies. So the Touter have just got to hold that left-hand side. The Heralds are helping, though. Yep, they've got them to rout. How can we assist best with the... Javelins, of course, also run over our own men, so they're not fantastic at... but they're not good at rear charging. They don't perform a standard cavalry function. No, don't stop on the generals. Don't stop on the pikes. I just wanted you to run through, and 3 of you have died. Oh my god. That's what I mean about how absolutely pathetic they are. Absolutely pathetic. Gally, do you have any news about modding progress? I probably will do Doff Elf, but that'll have to wait until the battle is over, I'm afraid. But I'll hit you up with updates on the mod after that battle is concluded. Hitting those spearmen. We got those axemen over there. Right, try and run through them. Eisenach axemen are now routing. We've got a lot of routing across the board. You guys just plough straight through these, please. There were 76, and there will remain 76, because unless you actually charge the cavalry into them, they don't tend to do their damage. They only killed 10. They flattened the entire battalion. The entire company are now lying flat on their backs. But alas, 60 of them will stand up after that brutal hammering. Right, we still don't want our archers to fire yet, because they will just most likely shoot at us. But that's the target for you. Go and stop those ballista crews doing what they're doing. Alright, so the 2 heralds. Let's pull you back in, and the 3 Touter. Oh, the Touter have actually come out of that not too badly. We'll get the heralds back, yeah. Our ballista is firing, but it's wasting its shots. There's the main force coming through. We have to watch out for the bodyguard of the general. I don't know what he'll have. The standard Dunlanding bodyguard, I assume, but the standard Dunlanding bodyguard is very powerful. Alright, they're bringing their cavalry in. Just run through, Our Dovesheath elders need to go and support over there, actually, because our Touter, something's hit our Touter and is now just crushing them. Danish axemen hit them in the back there. Come on, chariots, just plough through. Your chariots. Don't get caught on the axemen. If the cavalry wants to chase you, we'll let the cavalry chase you. And then we'll turn and hit them. But don't get caught on the axemen. The axemen will ruin your day. And then some. Alright, you guys can now fire because the enemy is right on top of us. Shoot at whatever you like, really, I suppose. But do pick things that are going to do damage to us. Can you take out that artillery for me, please? Oh, look at that. Straight away. It's as if they already were. Go on. All we need you to do is actually hit the siege weapons themselves, and then that's down. Our cavs, the chariots are getting ruined by that cav. The Tauter's little island of units there is at least blocking our left flank. They've got some of the elders with them. Oh, one of the elders is basically dead. Our general is soon to die. The Dunlanding horsemen are going to get him. And flanking him up here is probably not the best strategy. In fact, it is easily the worst strategy. Send them back as bait. Get the general out. Did we shut down the banister crew? Let's have a look. One still stands. Come on, guys. Come on, you're meant to be super accurate. Just hit the thing. Other than that, though, it is just two big lines of wildmen meeting here on the plains outside of Thaabad, where much will be decided. Right, that cavalry unit is almost certainly going to die, as we say. Those war wagons. I just don't like war wagons, to be honest. I'm unlikely to train them. I'm probably just going to train the standard Filani cavalry units. I just think chariots are useless in this, sadly. Oh, we've got a Tauter unit running. All two Tauter units are running, and the heralds, or the elders, sorry, are about to die off. But they have actually done really well against that cavalry. So if we send in... Oh, well, our archers have probably been assisting, actually, haven't they? Right, the left-hand side is where we're going to have issues. Oh, of course, we've got all these javelin units done. Right, and backstory, let's get you out. Completely ignoring half of my army. Get the backstory over to the left. The right-hand side doesn't need any help. The right-hand side, in fact, is close to winning. Very close to winning. They can't hit that banister. But there's nothing really else for them to target, so we might as well just leave them on it. Right, go and help the general. Clan Heralds, my plan was for you to go and help the general as well, actually. And yeah, backstory are just going to come on this left-hand side. There we are. Even the runic chariots. Every chariot, I think, is pretty much useless once they finish with their range options. They're just clunky and they don't work. They are technically elephants, of course. But it's just because of the giant hitbox. It doesn't matter what they are. The only way to make elephants good is give them an enormous amount of hit points, which is how the Balrog and Sauron used to work. But of course, you can't give an enormous amount of hit points to a chariot because it doesn't deserve it. It's just a chariot. So they're just always fundamentally weak. They only excel in disrupting an enemy formation. So if you've got a pike unit walking towards your front line, charge the chariots in the back of the pike, just run them straight through, and then move your army in afterward, and then they'll hit the pikes, and the pikes will no longer be in a standard line, and it just causes havoc. Captain Finian's gone. Oh no, run out over there. Our war wagon unit has died, but our skirmishers are now in the battle, which is good. That left-hand side is overwhelming. I think we've got this easy. Yes, 70 plays 40. Our front line still fights on as well. Oh, there's the chieftain's bodyguards. Oh, what I wouldn't give for real cavalry. That's the main problem, is that chariots just are not good at charging into a unit if there's any of your own units nearby, because they do collateral damage. Yeah, so they just suck. I just really don't like chariots in Med 2. It's because Med 2 is not designed to have chariots, as I say. They are just elephants, and they don't work very well as elephants. Dunherd champions looking very cool. Much better look than what they used to have.
Pursue and run them down.
Oh, there's our clan heralds. Right, come back and hit that warband. Chariots, let's show the good people at home how poor you are at running into things. So we've got all these Dunherd champions over here that are just standing there and they'd love to be charged at. Oh no, well the pikes would probably be better. Ceasefire, 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 ceasefire. Right, so we won't shoot ourselves. And there are 50 Dunhead champions. Our chariots charge straight into them. They run out the other side. And 2 of them died. 2 of them died. That many chariots just thumped into the back of those Dunhead champions. And you heard that correctly. They killed 2 of the buggers. We have 5 chariots. And they killed 2 of them. Right, so we'll go again. This time we're charging in from behind. You'll see, though, that when they do charge, they actually do run through. They don't get stuck on the enemy unit. But they've charged through again. There were 48. Our cavalry's now going off all in weird directions. And 1 of them died. 1 singular man died. Like 20 of them just got run over. And only 1 of them actually died. Chariots just suck. Convince me otherwise, I dare you. I can tell you now, you can't convince me otherwise. Chariots are so useless. The only real benefit of the chariots that are in the canned script and the rune script is that they are amazing archers. They are absolutely fantastic archer cavalry. But once they finish with their arrows, they're useless. They are useless.
We've lost half of our men.
We can go again. Right, we're just up against pikes now. This long line of dead enemies here. The Leodan are such a good addition to Enedwaith. They really do form the backbone of your army. It's worked out so perfectly because that's exactly what their intention, the like kind of story and intent for them was. They were always supposed to be this really elite. See, look, what are you doing now, chariots? You're running into our own line. I told you to attack that unit, which is standing there, and you keep hitting this people over here. But I don't really have anyone else for them to attack, so you might as well just go stand out there. The ballista crew, you might as well stop firing. Archers, I suppose you can carry on firing because they're still standing there and they want to be shot at, so you might as well oblige them. How are we doing on the left? Finally winning. Let's speed this up. This is over.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
Aha, there we
How
are.
our cowardly foe
Capture as many as we can.
It's time to press the attack.
You guys come out of that group. Don't fire at will. Chariot, here we go. How good are chariots at capturing routing units? Oh, they're abysmal. They're absolutely damn awful at it. Yet another feature where a horse bests a chariot. No, come on. I bet one of them will die. Penny to a pound says that one of these routing pike units will manage to kill one of our chariots. They just keep running them over. They don't actually capture them. That we're getting like 1, 2, 3. No, we're just going to win. There's just no point. There's just no point.
Clear victory.
Smashing victory, though. Who got the golden sword? Let's have a look. 249 kills go to the Leodan Billman. Well done, men. 182 Mordag skirmishers, unsurprisingly. So those are our top 2. And who claims third spot? We've got 169, 105, 166. It's 169, and it's Milchaini and Backstoy. All the skirmishing units doing well. And the Billman's an interesting one. Iranian Gilgalad agrees, chariots suck, and yes, they absolutely do. Gallo, any ideas about changing the Ardenayim UI? It fit Umbar, but not the Ardenayim. Nope, we don't plan on changing the Ardenayim UI because they are a desert people. Just because they share a 3,000-year heritage with Gondor doesn't mean they build the buildings in the same way. So no, they're always going to use the desert style because they come from the deserts. Remember, the Ardenayim come from even further south than Harad. Why would they build Gondorian style buildings? And for the same reason that Italian building design is not used generally in the sub-Saharan regions. You have to think of it like that. So, and if we change the UI, all of their buildings will be Gondorian. So no. Greetings, fellow Dackers. Hello there, everyone. Chariots are only good at killing your own army. Hear, hear. Note, the chariots are just much smaller elephants. That must be an answer to a question. Maiden Maith Dwit Ashar Galu. Good morning from Ireland. If that's how you pronounce it. I've just gone in. Go with your gut. The Dunlendings don't like me, as you might imagine, but that victory secures what we have been seeking this whole time. Thaabad is now in our hands. We don't have to worry about claiming it when the time comes, because we've already claimed it. We shouldn't be able to rebuild that yet, though. Maybe I didn't have the script requirement for that bit. Oh well. You can't build the other building until it's set up, but we shouldn't be able to build that till the script's ended, so I'll need to add that. Bear with me. Add it to the phone. And Thaabad Bridge needs script. Oh, that'll have to be edited though, so that it doesn't stop the Dunland building it. There we are. Oh, I've spelt Thaabad with a G. Big thumbs, small screen. Always been a problem. We've got a reasonable amount of money, but we don't need to do anything with it there. You guys can now all definitely just merge into Thaabad. Just merge. Right, so Dunland still has Fire Door, or Spirit Land, in Sindarin, if you're wondering. That's what Fire Door means. And it's Fire Door. Like, think of the word my, and then say Fire Door. So kind of like Fire Door, but more oomph on the R's. Fire Door. Anyway, Keloniac is the castle. Dunland hold that north of the river, and of course they still have Caladir, which we are working on. Alkford is giving us units, but they're all 2 turns away. Baradven, are you doing anything? No, you're not. Londare, are you doing anything? No, you're not, but you can. And we need Rushion back. Head him down there. We need Calador. We need Calador. Too sweet. I'm not too bothered about northern Danish armies, though. Bree can deal with them now. So we'll wait and see what Dunland does here. I'm sure they'll move in and attack Vile, almost no doubt. But that main army needs to leave Thaabad because it's needed to take Dunlarak. But for now, I think we can end the turn and just revel in our victory. Thaabad falls. In a very simple little victory as well. But we shall see. I need a scout. There we are. Scuddaeth. Go and stand next to Argon. Find out what's happening over here. Oh, was that the faction leader? Well, that's a small garrison, isn't it? There we are. Aren't chariots good anti-cav? I thought they are. Yeah, sometimes they have a benefit against cav. But often they just get caught out by the cav more so than doing damage to them. Bode Creative says, the man himself. Since chariots are that useless, why are they in the mod? I'm asking that question since you talked about how the mod is running out of unit slots. I feel like the slots have better use then. Well, chariots are unique. That's the difference. It's nice to have some variety. And there's only 3 chariot units anyway. And we don't have any other units that we need to add. That's the question people always fail to ask. Well, you may have done, but obviously your comment doesn't imply that you did. And that is, why remove units? What unit ideas do you have that you want desperately added? Oh, there we are. Círdan has died. Mithlond has fallen to the Ardenaeum. And the elves will not be pleased. Which could mean that the Ardenaeum come for us, because we border them now. Which is not ideal. Right, we want to keep making Londare wealthy, because it's safe, secure, and in the back. And it is making itself wealthy, so we don't need to actually worry. So Basradum, you can get something. Where's your general? He's only a turn away now, that's nice. And you're a turn from Dolvorn. Dolvorn can get some things. Chicken farming wouldn't become a miss. Oh no, get a fishery where you can. Fisheries are always worthwhile. You can't get a fishery. You can't retrain them either. Why can't you retrain them? Oh, are they here because of the Hunters Guild? Yes, they are, of course. Of course, of course, of course, of course. Now what we want to do here is turn this place to our culture. That'll bring the corruption down as well. So we'll go Grove of Stories for Basradum. And a moot hall wouldn't come amiss. Increased law. Yeah. That should help that out greatly. And then the arrival of the general will see things turn in our favour. Dunland are going to, by the looks of it, hit Thaabad from 2 different angles. I would welcome a siege on the city because it's a very, very defensible location. And they are not breaking through those walls anytime soon. We can get a Bard's Guild. Culture increase bonuses of 5 and 1. Morale bonus to troops trained here +3. Is that an actual guild or is that just the end of the entertainment line? The culture line. Which one is the culture line? Gathering halls. Yes, it is just the end of that. Have we built the largest town hall that we can get here now? Yeah, Elders Hall. After that we need to upgrade. We can't upgrade till we've completed everything. And to complete everything, we bloody well need to defeat Dunland. And we can't do that at the moment because they're throwing everything they've got at Thaabad. But I'd welcome their armies at Thaabad because we can deal with them there. Oh, look at the units that you can train. Nice. Garden of Tales, culture increase. Definitely don't need that. But we need an army for Argond because Argond is not... they've got quite the garrison there. Quite the garrison indeedy. But our 2 units in Londare already, so send them up to the fort as well. Sudori, can you give me anything? Oh, you can give me 2 fishermen. Send them to the fort as well. I'll just take whatever we can, really. Although you're a bit too far away to worry. Oh, you can get Druidine Hunters in Caras, of course. 2 turns, 450 gold. Take the archers as well. Nice. And I tell you what, if you train 2 of those afterwards, then I can take all of that as an army. That'll work. Because, of course, we're allied to Isengard. Still no luck. And Rohan has taken Foldbird back. Oh, we're going to have Rohan knocking on our door soon. We need to worry about that. End the turn again. I haven't killed any generals yet, no. J-Dog says 100,000 subs soon. I doubt it very much, I'm afraid, J-Dog. But on that subject, actually, just yesterday I received confirmation from Creative Assembly that they have accepted me as a verified content creator. Now, they have 2 levels of their partnership. There's verified content creator, and then there's one above. And the one above is all of the massive names in Total War, and they're called something else. I can't remember what they call them. Partners, maybe? I can't remember. But anyway, at the lower tier, it just means that I can now get access to Creative Assembly games before they release, so that I can do videos for them, which is pretty cool as a bare minimum. But it's just nice to be recognised, given that I've been plugging away selling Medieval 2 now for the past 7 years. So it's nice that that's reflected in some way. I'm sure, obviously, Medieval 2 is not high on Creative Assembly's list. But those slow trickles of funds are always worthwhile. And I doubt they begrudge the fact that DaC is pushing out all these sales of Med 2. Right, Barad Vin completed. We want to keep making money, so let's get a fishery there. Let's go through all the towns, shall we? Karas, you could get an apothecary, but it doesn't really give financial gain. Communal farming would probably be best. Chuck in a farm down in Karas. Vile. You are important at the moment, but you're going to be very unimportant once Dunland falls and we turn our attention to Rohan and we move south. Rohan and Gondor, I think, are going to be where we get our victory conditions from, by the way. Rohan, definitely, but Gondor, I think, is up there. So you're actually really far away. So let's start tooling you round to... Oh, have you got a master carpenter? No. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to go along the building line. Carrot can't really give us out. Leatherworker probably wouldn't come amiss. It gives us a bit of money. Thaabad itself. Still, we don't need the Grove of Stories because they have a huge culture. You can't retrain anything. I mean, you could get a Clan Musterground, wouldn't come amiss here. But what we definitely want here is the Carpenter's building. But has that already been completed? Carpenter's Guildhouse. Yes, it has. Fantastic. And we've already got a port. Nice to see. A fishery. Let's get a fishery up. Dunland's army is moving round. They think they can get through there, but they can't. The nearest way through is all the way up here at Koloniak. There's a river crossing just there, I think, and then you cross there again. So that's the way around. It's a long way around, which was done on purpose to give capturing Thaabad more weight. Oh look, Argon's garrison's just been gutted. What of that army in Karas? One more turn. Train those as well. We're going then. Oh, the Alkford army's ready. We've got a general, haven't we? Mokhar, yes. Nice. Ah, good. Getting it done. CA equals lame. CA does not equal lame, Remus, King of Rome, because I'm sure you've had great fun playing their games. And whether it was Medieval 2, whether it was Shogun 1, Shogun 2, I'm sure you've played at least one of their games. And just because you disagree with their decisions now doesn't mean they haven't given you joy in the past. And I think people are so quick to forget, and that is a big failing on people's parts. You should be thankful for what you have had, given that they have no obligation to provide it for you. I think, anyway. Get the farmhand pikes in. Yeah, go on, once you can. That Dunlending army's not looking nice. They're coming back for Dunyard, which is a shame. Herod's just given us some Fowlin warriors, so we'll take those as well. Gutting our finances wherever we can. Oh, that army in I think you might need to stay there, actually. Herod as well. If you could train a couple, we'll group them. You'll need to go east. But once Caladir falls, we can just ship the army back. And then Dunland won't have a presence north of the river, save for Koloniak, which we don't need to worry about. So I think we could probably end the turn there. Oh, Buzzradum having a general only gained an extra 100 gold coins. Alex Corner, $20 US. Hello from Vegas, Gallo. I just wanted to thank you for such an amazing mod, even though I probably spent an unhealthy amount of time on it. Cheers. Well, you're very welcome, sir. Thank you very much for that donation. That's very, very welcome. Money is always welcome, the world we live in, so thank you very much. It's pleasing. Not necessary, but pleasing. Oh, our fishermen are ready as well. I'll take another one of them. There's only 2 garrison troops there. Right, on the next turn, I think we've got the army ready to ship over to Argond, actually, so let's just hope Dunland don't spoil the party. Does anyone know how to trigger a Tola Khan in version 4.5? There are no Tola Khans in version 4.5. It's not yet been added. So you can't do that, I'm afraid. We took basically the view that it wouldn't actually really be worthwhile because only Gondor, Dol Amroth and the Dunedain share the culture that's needed. And for us to work in the full Tolakan script that allows the Northmen to change religion briefly so that they can join a Tolakan, we just didn't think it was worth it, to be honest. So we haven't done that. We're far better putting our attention into the individual faction reworks than giving a sort of sweeping but rarely used feature like that.
Make a stand. We are besieged.
CA is lame now. You've caveated your earlier statement. Creative Assembly holds another key space in my heart because, of course, I am from England, and something you may not know, but many of you probably do, Creative Assembly is also from England. And in fact, their head office is in Horsham. And I've been to Horsham on 2 occasions to visit the county court there. Not for my own need, but for clients' needs. And I've gone past their offices, actually. And it's just interesting to know that a major global company like that is actually here in England. Games Workshop is also was founded in England in the 80s. So it's a good little union for CA and Games Workshop to join together, because it's like the best of British coming together. Right, Argond has a pitiful garrison, and we've now got a sizable army. So let's go up and knock on the door. We should be able to move up in 1 turn and siege them. Alkford can train more. Where are the rest of the Filani? Why can't we get the Filani's normal units? What do they train out of? Who can train Filani? Vile can't it? You can give me Filani herders. Now, who gives me those? What building do they come from? We'll find them. Filani herders, there we are. It's chicken farming. Alkford, have you not got chicken farming? No, you haven't, and that's why you can't train them, because the barracks only has the 2nd tier units. And the 2nd tier are the war wagons. Right, so we want the chicken farming for military. I do like that separation, though. If it means that you can pick and choose certain units to train, but on the flip side, if you want all units available, you've really got to plan out how you want your settlement to grow. Karas doesn't need a large garrison, so I'll leave behind the 2 defensive units. No, we'll do 1-on-1. We'll do 1-on-1. Right, and you don't need to go north anymore, so if you try and get up to Dunyard and support the defence there, that's a good little army. We've trained quite quickly there, isn't it? Very good little army. Varyags of Khand and Eastlings of Rune have ceased warring on one another. They're no longer free, so let's get them out. You can... Oh, but you're miles away, just disband. Go back to working in the fields, lads. Have you not got our culture? No, indeed. Yeah, of course. But the Moot Hall's building, which is nice. Oh, and it did build the Grove. So it's 2% now. Get the Garden of Tales once you've built that then for me, please. Dunland still not decided what they're going to do with Thaabad, just running all their armies around. But they are going to regret that in a turn when our army arrives on the borders of Argond. It's a shame the new engine is so unfriendly to mods. All that comment is gone. Apologies. Vincent Khatibi, breaking news. Gondor, Dol Amroth and Dunedain share Islamic religion in the game, but no jihad. Indeed, they are all Islamic. Retooled to be Dunedain. Almost everything is retooled from the base game, except for Gundabad and Khand. And one culture, which is Gondor. So the Gondor culture, which is actually what decides the UI, is custom made, as is Khand and Gundabad. They're not a hijacked Medieval 2 nation. So their names in the files are also Khand and Gundabad. Right, Chieftain Donkaith is being attacked, but we're in the city, and Rorith is coming. He's got Guardians of Dunland somehow. A very, very defensive unit, but not that great at killing things, but they last so long that they probably do end up killing a lot of things. Dunherd Champions, Dunlending Warband, 2 of those, and Wolf's Sword. So it's not a bad army, but they've got to get through the walls. And we should have towers firing down on them whilst they're trying that. Someone's a question for Lord of Links, who's dotted around. Yep, there I see him. Good morning, or good sort of afternoon/evening, Links. What major economy snowballed in the Anduin campaign? Was it the mines in the old Dwarven Holds? What's your strategy for a strong economy? Economy snowballs by just building economy. The reason my economy doesn't normally snowball is because I pay very little attention to it and I focus way too much on military. But if you can get a good, solid economic base as early as possible, you will never be hard up for cash in Medieval 2 because there aren't any exponential costs like they added in later games. So to get around snowballing economies in Warhammer 2, for example, as I'm sure you were well aware, every new army that you add to your nation costs exponentially more than the one before it. And that's how they got around snowballing eco. But in these games, there is no way around it. If you can just put all your time and attention into your eco, it will balloon until it is absolutely ridiculous in size. And that's just always an option. Right, they've got one ladder and the Guardians are going up it. They don't have a siege tower, and otherwise it's just that ram. And the ladder's likely to come here on the left-hand side. But we don't really want archers on the walls. This settlement is fantastic for non-wall based archery. So we're going to use that to our advantage by having our archers out on these edges. And I'm trying to get this one over here, but he just won't go. Oh, there we go. He's facing the wrong way, but that's the position we wanted. And then that one, we can put one archer on the wall. Oh, you can't actually go on the wall. No, we won't put you on the wall then. We will just put you up here and we'll move you in a moment. Don't start there. There you go, just start there and we'll move you. Alright, so we can put some units on the walls. Those ones that just basically mean nothing and are here to die. And to be honest, I'd be tempted to put Wildman Defenders on the walls. Just to keep the Guardians of Dunland at bay with a unit that we don't mind getting killed. And then the other Guardian can take the gate. And then we've got the Fowland behind as well. And we've also got the Touter there. Yeah. Right, so that archer unit. Oh, well, let's move this one actually. Move. We can get you both on that slope, I would have thought, actually. So if you go like that, and the other one can go there, like that. Yep. And then sprint, sprint. Hunters, you can move further forward. Right, so that's all you guys getting into position. Touter, turn and face right, so you can flank right, and you guys turn and face left, so you can flank left. You pull slightly further back from the gate. Let's speed her up. We've got the towers firing away for us. There's our hunters firing down the hill. Enedwaith will be free. Oh, I still need to write those voice lines for the voice acting fellow. Hi from Serbia, Gallo. Good morning, Azagal, Lord of Belagost. Welcome indeed. Welcome, 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 welcome. We're over 300 with Enedwaith's viewing count this morning. And that's because it's such a lovely day. Such a lovely day. My question to each one of you, at the beginning I mentioned that Lass die Sonne in dein Herz is my favourite Eurovision Song Contest song. But I'd be interested to know what is your favourite Eurovision Song Contest song. Because I love the Eurovision Song Contest. It's probably my most played playlist on my iPod, which may surprise many of you. It surprises everyone I ever meet, because in England the Song Contest is treated poorly, to be honest. Most people look down on it as an absolute joke, and many people just moan that we contribute money to it. But if people actually just watch it, it's such a fantastic little celebration of music and Europe altogether. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I buy the album every year. Not every song is a winner, of course. Some songs are utter garbage. And some songs are so jokey and just bizarre that you can't help but just watch in awe as this person ruins their career on stage. But that doesn't always work, does it? I mean, Verka Serduchka has made a fantastic career out of off the back of Eurovision. Dancing Lascia Tombai. Do let me know. What faction is France in DaC? France is Isengard. Mordor are England. But of course they have absolutely no correlation. I think the team just went down the list in alphabetical order and just added the factions as they were going. There's no correlation whatsoever. Although, I mean, I like to think that the fact that the followers of Melkor have the Catholic religion is on purpose. But then that's just because I'm so terribly atheist, I'm afraid. There's no point hiding behind it, but I'm not going to try and foist my views on you all. But I do think it's funny that Catholicism is Melkor in the game. Right, they've broken down. They're coming through, but the Guardians, of course, are trashing our units up on the wall. But at least they're still up on the wall. That's what we want to see. We're getting a lot of arrow fire coming through. 28% of them is killed. The problem here in the UK is we have a habit of sending pretty naff songs. I know, it's like there's an unspoken rule that Eurovision cannot have a major artist And of course, England, we contribute to the general pop scene, don't we, quite significantly. Some of the biggest musical artists in history are from England, primarily because they speak English and it's rapidly becoming a universal language. So obviously people like the Beatles and stuff like that. And twinned with America, we have some of the biggest artists. So we could just send one of those and it would be a landslide victory because all of that singer's fans would absolutely vote for them. Like if Ed Sheeran went and did Eurovision, maybe we wouldn't win because of all of the older Eurovision fans would be like essentially that they're trying to cheese it to get an easy victory. But Ed Sheeran's legions of fans would vote for him. But there's like an unsung rule that famous people basically don't go to Eurovision unless they're at the end or the beginning of their career. But of course, in the old days, as someone has mentioned with ABBA started as a Eurovision. That's how they made their name. Waterloo is a very famous winning Eurovision song. And they completely rose to stardom off the back of that. So for non-English speaking participants, Eurovision is a huge possibility and a huge, huge opportunity. But for English acts, it's basically just the death of your career. If you do Eurovision and you're English, it's just awful, really. Oh, I do like Jägerlief. Iceland's 2013. I listened to that one a fair amount. I also like there's quite a few from Iceland that I like quite a lot actually. Yeah, they do have a good habit. Iceland and Norway are normally ones you can bank on sending a good song. I mean, Waterloo is good, but I wouldn't say it's the best song from Eurovision. But then here I am, my favourite song from Eurovision is from the 80s, so I mean I'm delving back into time to get mine as well. The body pile outside the gate is beautiful. That's what happens when you stand there and archers just fire at you. Now the Guardians are going to be the real threat here. As you can see, our Wildman defenders are insanely good. They hold back for days and days and days. And the maelstrom of war that stands before us at the moment does not deter them in their goal from saving everyone else's lives, because that's basically what they're here to do. Oh, Chieftain Donkaith has an ability. Oh, and you guys have been moving this whole time, so you haven't fired a single shot. Oh, you have fired some. No, you haven't. Oh, that was a waste. You might as well try and shoot into here, surely, guys. Come on. We might get a lot of our own men killed, but we should see. Moldova always sticks a good effort in. The smaller countries take it more seriously than we do. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, they do tend to really put out bangers. Fairy Tale is so overrated. So overrated. The highest scoring Eurovision song of all time for a long time, wasn't it? Until it was beaten by Portugal's entry in 2019. Which again is another one I have on my iPod and listen to all the time. And Amar Pelos Dois. That's the highest scoring song now of all time. But that's because they keep changing the way the scoring works. But Fairy Tale for a long time was the highest scoring Eurovision song. And I just think it's good, don't get me wrong. But I just don't see it as this all amazing, this fantastic Eurovision song. I just think it's a bit meh. And when he came back to do That's How You Write a Song, it didn't really gain any traction, did it? Alright, let's charge the units into the sides. This is why we discuss Eurovision at length. Fight the battle, please, says Barry O'Donnell. What do you want me to do, Barry? I can't get in there. I mean, this is as much as we can do. It's a siege defence. Iranian likes Norway. And he's not biased just because his girlfriend's from there. Spirit in the Sky, yeah, that's a smashing song. Absolutely smashing song. Riverdance was the best thing to come out of Eurovision. Cheesy, yes, but all the more beautiful. I didn't even know Riverdance came out of Eurovision. That's long before my time. Fairy Tale is not overused and is a really good song. Changed my mind.
The enemy general flees
it
like
is.
the coward he is.
I can't change your mind, but it is.
And break the spirit of his army.
Gallo, charge your axemen in. Yep, they've all gone in, don't worry. There we are, they're running away. Right, the only thing left now then is the Guardians. So what we want to try and do, really, is shoot at the Guardians on the wall. And hope our archers are up to the task. Because at the minute they're kind of in a shooting gallery. So if we can just target them now, please. We should be able to send them running. If not dead, at least get them off. There we are. Success! 162. This is what I mean. You just don't need to pay attention in certain battles, team. That's why we're having this great chat about Eurovision. And the misers over here telling me to focus on the game. Ugh. Druidine Hunters, 135. Keefi Huntsman, 131. Dovesheath Foresters, 117. Good shots all round. Well done, everyone. Angus Haynes. Just curious, what area of law do you specialise in? 999. I specialise in wills, trusts, and probate. So if you need a will, I can write one for you, and if a loved one dies, I can assist with their estate here in the United Kingdom. And if you need a trust set up, because, I don't know, you've got a son and you think he's going to waste all his money, so you want to give him money, but you don't want him to have control of it, then you can set up a trust that would allow other people to control his money and give it to him as and when they think he needs it. That's a common use of a trust, or more commonly, actually, it's used for people who have maybe adult mental disabilities. So you don't want to give them all of your wealth because you know that they just won't know how to spend it and it will just get wasted. So instead, you give their money to someone else who looks after it for them. And that's what I specialise in. Gallo, put Ancalame in DaC. Ancalame's name is in DaC, so you might have a wife called Ancalame if you play as the Ardenian, because of course her name is Numenorian.
Yes, my lord.
And so you will see her, but the cat herself, of course, I can't put into DaC. Oh, Dolvorn built a thing. Go for a leather tanner. Chicken farming wouldn't come amiss, actually, because you couldn't upgrade then. But it got its fishery in, that's nice. Nonda is also... Oh, you can get a fishery too. Yes, please. Just keep going with the finances over here. Could we raise the tax rate? Oh, no. Oh, and thank you, Angus, as well, for the funds. I don't know if I said that when I answered your question, but thank you very much. It's very nice. Chicken farming wouldn't come amiss, I suppose, because we can upgrade this time, remember, everyone. The script will work. But first of all, we need to free up the army in Thaabad so that we can move out and hit Dunland. But I think we could do that by, if once we take an Argond, we'll sweep that army east, link up with the army in Thaabad, and then we can push the Thaabad army out and move out with a position of strength. You can go and bolster the defences in Dunland. Time for a drink. Apple and strawberry squash today, not cherries and berries, I'm afraid. Oh, you've trained a unit. 2 units, in fact. Move them to here. Right. I don't think unfortunately, we're at a massive end turn eclipse. Well, eclipse is the wrong word, but we're in an end turn sort of setting at the moment where we just need to end turn while things are happening. But we will possibly try and rush Argond out of the game. We'll wait and see if they bring any forces back. I don't want to unnecessarily attack people because we need to keep the armies alive where we can. Oh, Dunland took their fort back, little bastards. Byrig has almost no garrison, but Dunland does have a large one. Fire Rumore is good, yeah. That's one of my favourite from the cancelled year. What a legend and quality mod. Well, thank you, TV Turmoil. I'm sure yourself, sir, are a legend, for we all are. You just have to look in and find it. I know more about Vlad Tepes. Isn't Vlad Tepes the... I recognise that name and I don't know why. Can you help reclaim my family's land from the Viking era? Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it, I'm afraid. Did War Dogs make it into Medieval 2 Total War from Rome? Could Enedwaith have them or another Wildman faction? They can be ported across, but we haven't ever done so. There's always been a blocking in our modding progress with the animations file. Dunyard can train so much stuff. Goodness gracious, we can get Wolf Swordsman. Yes, an army will rise. Get an Elder's Hall in here early doors then. Oh, that's fantastic. We can get such a good army out of that. Oh, Bregnas definitely needs more troops though. Get yourself a military garrison when you can. How much money do we make? 4,000. Rohan, once they've dealt with Isengard, they're going to come for us. It's going to be more challenging than we would like. The problem is I can't move the army out of Thaabad because Dunland will send someone from the north just to nip it and take it back. I also don't really want to attack here until we absolutely have to, but 6 turns of just ending. It's a bit dull, really, isn't it? We've only had 2 turns since we last ended turn. But they've made it to Dunland. Well, the army in Dunland can move out as well. Yeah, let's let it go through its training there. We should be fine. Bucks fan, I just moved to England. Where should I visit off the beaten path that only locals would know or suggest? Well, that depends very much on where exactly you live. For example, where I live, in Bedfordshire, the most popular location to take your children when you can't do anything other than just go to nature is a place called the Dunstable Downs. Because the town that I live in is in a large flat plain, but around the edges of the plain are the Chiltern Hills, and so they have excellent viewpoints down into the plain. And Dunland Downs is one such viewpoint. Dunstable Downs, sorry, not Dunland. And people go there all the time. But of course, there's so many better places to go that people don't know about, but that's really specific to this area. So to go off the beaten track, you need to talk to people where you live, I'm afraid. The leatherworker can upgrade much of our army in the castle there. Karas got communal farming, so we can get more troops trained there. But I don't think Isengard will turn on us anytime soon. And Thaabad got its fishery. Its fishery has been built. Clan Musterground wouldn't come amiss in Thaabad, but it's not going to help us economically. But we could do with getting one up here. Or a shipwright maybe, actually. Gives more trade fleets, increasing tradable goods. But that's a lot of money for a minor increase. I do that all the time. Building 770, trade 328. If we were to build that, trade goes up by 30. Admin goes up by 3. So it would take 100 turns to pay itself off at current standing. Mordor and the Ardenheim are at war. Ardenheim and Harad have broken alliance, and Dunland and Rohan have declared a truce. In their facing oblivion, Rohan and Dunland have united. Would you believe it?
Your orders, my lord.
Right, our army is going to march now, I'm afraid.
My lord. Your will, my lord. My lord.
We must put pressure on Dunland. I like that you get a few Dunlanding units. It's just nice. It's nice having just a few. I don't want to train their whole roster, because then what's the point in playing Dunland? There's no point. But if you can get just a couple of their units, it really does make it for good fun playing. Right, speaking of a couple of units, you guys as well can come down here and meet on that bridge. Yeah, because you can get there in a turn as well. Yes, you can. So we can build actually quite a little army there. Quite a nice little army. Thaabad is not being attacked, but they still hold Coloniac. Come on, Bree, do something. We're going to get Argond back, and we've shut off the other 2 that we need. But this army might be able to sneak in and take Byrig, and then we can avoid Dunland. We'll see. We will see. We still haven't heard the Magyar's theme with the end turns. I knew 8 was too many. Hello to Gallo in the chat once again. Hello, Nikos. How do you pronounce the X in Greek? Is it Zacharios, like it would be in Aztec, for example, with Meshka and Tlachtlan? Or is it more of a harder X? So would it be Zaxarios? Arias? I'm interested. I like languages a lot. I'd like to be able to just at least pronounce the various differences in the languages. So I don't need to be able to speak the whole language, but I want to be able to look at a word and not sound like an idiot when I try and pronounce it in the way that an English person would speak that word. Daggett 1234. Were there 1,233 other Daggets and you needed the number? Is there any cultural inspiration for Oricani dwarves? Their lamellas make me think of medieval Eastern Europe a lot. No, not really. We just wanted something that wasn't really used in the mod so that they would feel exotic. And so that's why they were given that, to be honest. We needed to make them feel like outsiders, so the only real way to do that is give them a look which is not overused by any other faction. Oh, Thaabad, the army knocking around Thaabad seems to have eased up.
Yes, my lord.
And we can actually walk through.
Your orders,
Yes. We are going to go over and try and sneak Byrig from underneath their noses. Whilst Berkhan stands in Dunland with a lot of Wolf's units. We're just gonna casually sneak by. Someone keeps requesting that a river crossing gets made down here so that you can get between Byrig and Dunland, and I think that might be a good idea, actually. But the part of the reason why there's only the one river crossing is because if you're playing as Dunland and for whatever reason Rohan or even Isengard get the better of you, if you've decided to attack Isengard, then if Dunyard falls, you can fall back to this single river crossing and hold there. The only other ways round are all the way up there near Vale, which is a long way round, or they've got to take you on the bridge, which gives you the defensive bonus. But if we add a crossing here, then they can just circumvent your bridge battles. Or you've got to have 2 armies at least to hold them back. And that might start getting into the realms of impossibility. 4 more turns on Argon. To be honest, we've fought at Argon before. I would happily just siege them out. Oh, the money's starting to roll in from Buzzardum and Dol Vaughan, though. Look at that. We're getting up there into the 800s now. Corruption is dropping. Maximum that would make at the moment is 1,600 if it were our capital city. Harad and the Ardenaim have allied, which have forced a truce. So the Ardenaim's war on Mordor is over before it even begins. Barra Convery. Gallo, fun fact. Because of these Brexit shenanigans, you'll need a travel visa to go anywhere in the EU except Ireland. You can come visit us anytime. It's because of a deal called the CTA. I've only ever been to Ireland the once. I went to Dublin with my friends. It was nice. It was really nice. It was strange going into Tesco's, though, and seeing everything in euros and not in pounds. That was almost surreal. I hadn't thought that Tesco's would be in Ireland as well. But, I mean, why not? We probably have very similar likes because we have similar climates and all that kind of stuff, don't we? So, but it was bizarre seeing toothpaste in euros. The toothpaste that I own. But this one's costing me euros. It was just weird. Gondor's leader has died. Ethering's revenge. Ethering has fallen. Oh no, we're not going to be able to get our victory conditions from Gondor because they are getting killed off. Oh, and Dunland have moved to counter our assault on Byrig. And they've opened up Dunlerak to assault. It's a shame we don't have any siege equipment. Because that would come in real handy. They will almost certainly come back and attack us. But that's pathetic. That's moronic. What have you done? They're so desperate to stop us sneaking in and taking it. And speaking of sneaking in and taking it, I think the army here could move out and try and help. We don't need that garrison there anymore. Oh, look, and Brithor the Ranger still lives for Bree. Oh, that's cool. I like it when you see those custom generals still alive. Because, of course, speaking from experience, custom generals don't really tend to live very long. I don't know why. I just can't put my finger on it. But they just die so easily. And it's absolutely nothing, of course, to do with my command as a general. No. It's their own fault. They're definitely killing themselves. Let's leave Sion as he is the governor anyway. We might as well leave something else. I don't really want to leave an archer unit though because we really need them. Maybe a Tauta unit. Yeah, they can stay behind as well.
We shall engage.
Hello, Captain Beethan. Look at Dunland desperately trying to get across the river. You're not going to get across Dunland. Can I send 2 of you? Not at the moment. Alright, let's fight an auto-resolve on this guy. 326, that's way too many. Can you get to Thaabad then? No, they're a turn away. You can train a pike unit, so you can send a 3rd one. They should be able to get in there, and they won't be attacked anyway, not with Karui on there. Right, yeah, keep running down. Try and get to Dunlerak to support. It's all coming together rather nicely, isn't it? You do not need 4 garrison units, and Dunyard could do with a lot more, so 4 of you are going to go to Dunyard. And then I think one of you can go to Bregnas. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we're doing alright. The money's really nice and easy to make, isn't it? Dunland really don't like me, though. The Imperial War Museum is great. Always like seeing it at Duxford. Is that in answer to Bucks fans, where should you go? Oh, you're all helping. That's good. Good. Yes, certainly, because we're all from different places here in the UK, aren't we? So if you live in the UK, then please do comment and let Bucks fan know where is a good place to go around where you live. Because I can't help with all of England. I've been to many places in England. It's a family tradition amongst my immediate family is that once a year, every year since I was born, we've gone on holiday to England for at least a week. And that tradition continues, apart from last year. Although we managed to, actually, because we always go in October. And last year, even with the lockdown, we were able to go because 2 families could still go away together at that time in England. And so we did. We went to Salisbury. And then we'll go away again this October as well. Right, market. Dol Vaughan's getting its chicken farming up, so good. That will be a town soon, which is nice. Vile's built a port. Now remember, the Enedwaith campaign is a bit of a breeze at the moment, but we still need to acclimatise, that's not the word I mean, we still need to achieve our victory conditions, and they need to be taken from someone. So we have plans, of course, to attack Rohan, but we need 25 regions, and when we take Dunland now, we're going to need another 10, so we're going to have to attack someone, and it sounds very much like Mordor is absolutely destroying Gondor, so Gondor is not really a viable option. And Isengard are throwing everything at Rohan, so I don't think Rohan would be an option either. We might have to turn our attention north and hit someone who otherwise has been an ally, which could bring about a huge uprising against us.
With honor, as you command, we shall prevail.
Dunrak, we have two massive armies here.
We shall engage.
Clear victory. I know that it's a bit of a cop-out to do auto-resolves, but we've been fighting Dunland for days now. Now they share the same culture as us, so let's just sack it. They've got a way station built here and a military camp, which doesn't do anything for us, so get rid of that. Tanner's Guild and the Master Carpenter's Hut share the same visual, and arguably the Tanner's Guild is better quality. I didn't know they had the same visual. I try to cut down on that where possible, but equally I don't like to get bad UI, so I try to find good ones, and there's only so many you can get that fit in the aesthetic of the mod already, so we're running out of places to get them really. Alright, there we are. Dunlarak has fallen. Byrig stands alone as our last conquest on the quest for Thaabad and the rebuilding of the kingdom of Athamor. Oh, we need Argond as well, but by the time we take Byrig we would have got Argond. So let's build an army of our best out of what we've got here. Chieftain Donkaith is absolutely one of our best. Oh, he can't move very far.
Your will, my lord.
We'll take what you've got first, which isn't all that much, really. There's not many units there that I really want. I don't want Caruion. I really don't like the war wagons. So we're going to take Donkaith. You've got quite a few full units there. Oh, wolf swords, yeah. I'll tell you what, if you take both of those and then take those, they can merge together. 40 of those can go back then. We've got 3 more archers there. This is a huge archer army, isn't it? It always swings around. 2 extremes, one extreme to another. Skirmishers. Oh, Cav, yes please. I'll take the 40 as well, actually. Going to take 1 more unit.
Yes, my lord.
There we are, Caruion and what's your name? Dolaith, you can stay there. Oh, Mordag skirmishers, there you go. Alright, that should be more than enough to deal with Byrig. We've got plenty of money though. Do we want to train some of those? Yes, we definitely do. I'll take both of those. So we want 2 slots. 101 archers. We can do it on the next turn, but those 101 archers will go back. And maybe the 40 cav, I think, actually.
Yes, my lord.
Get them in before Dunland trains them. The AI does train mercs. It's something that they are able to do. It's within their script, and they will do it if they can. So do always be cautious. Does that give lore as well? Yeah. But we don't really need to worry. They'll love us here. Virtually no cultural unrest. We share the same culture. There's always a minor cultural penalty when one faction takes another faction's region, but it's nothing to be really worried about. This is England's theme. Fred Smith. Hello, Gallo. Long-time watcher, first-time chatter. Congratulations to yourself and the mod team members present and past for a wonderful project. Well, thank you, Fred. That's very, very nice. From Bury St Edmunds, your best bet is the Norfolk coast. Do you know what's in Bury St Edmunds? Not particularly enjoyable, but it's just that it's mentioned quite a lot, and I think it's quite something I used to see all the time, is that if you need to get divorced in the United Kingdom, then your divorce application will go through Bury St Edmunds, because they all do. It is the central divorce processing court. Which means, as you might imagine, with the entire country getting divorced in a single court, it is massively backlogged and service is atrocious. Anduin falters. With such promise did the hardened warriors of the Vales begin their preparations, yet all is not well for them. Many lie dead along the banks of the mighty Anduin, and their great strength of purpose has not served them as well as it could have done. Will they fail and pass into the histories, or will they gird their loins and breathe the free air once more? Their strength in adversity will tell all to this world. Doesn't gird your loins mean stop trying to have sex with everything? I don't think that fits in that sentence, if memory serves. We've got lots of money now. We are starting to get to the snowballing point, so let's keep throwing economy at it, and we will keep growing and growing and growing. Bregnas cannot give us anything. Oh, you could give us roads, actually. Do we want roads down here, though, really? Chuck in a farm when you finish with that. Get a leather worker in. I mean, why not? Roads are welcome everywhere. Done the rack. Done yard. Oh, Buzzradum's about to finish that. Yeah, get yourself some roads. Oh, no. Mining network. Yes, please. No. We'll go with the roads. Then we'll go with the mining network. And then you can get your farming and your whatnots. Oh, you're a town, but you've got almost no one. Buzzradum will be a huge moneymaker. In only a few turns, it's already almost taken Londair's place. And Londair has only a few hundred people more than it. 600 more people. Where's your money mostly coming from? 600 in mining. The taxes is 165. And trade is 486. Londair, by comparison, trade is 403, tax is 356. So the reason Londair's making good money is because there's no negative multiplier. Buzzradum would be making far more money if it didn't have corruption, which unfortunately is just growing exponentially. It's not really growing exponentially, it's just growing. But Dunland moved to try and stop our advances, as any good nation would. But it is for naught, Dunland, for you will die here. Oh, Fisherman's Guild House. Yes, please. Chuck that in. I'd love the Bridge of Thaabad, actually, if you could build that as well. We might as well try. We're making the money.
Yes, my lord.
Do we think we can take those two armies? No, I think we'll hit Nice first so we can divide and conquer, which is the name of the game, quite literally. Right, so our archer-heavy army comes up against a mere captain. The fact that it's in that heavily in their favour is bizarre. We outnumber them 2-1 almost. Well, 2-3. 3-2. They have got Mounted Warband, Eisenbach Raiders, and Mounted Warband. Now, Eisenbach Raiders are a good cavalry unit, a very, very good cavalry unit. But the AI, as we know, are not going to do that well with it. They do try, but they just fail abysmally. But we'll give it a go. Good going over. 2 regions to go. Indeed, 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 indeed. There we go, says Squirrel Monkey. Visit the divorce courts. Yes, go and tell them to bloody well work better. Right, we attack them, so they're going to pull back to one of these 2 large hills. So we could try and come up here and walk along this hill so that we have hill parity. And then at least we're hitting side on. I think we are going to do that. So for now, the whole army, just come and stand over here, please. There we are. And there indeed they are. Chasing the Traitor. Vindsvept on YouTube if you're interested. Right, you are all going to be one archer group. There we are, group together. Move to there. Oh, I should pause it and do this because they are moving to counter us. And we're losing valuable time. Just get everyone to walk over here for now. We haven't got too many defensive units. You're not even defensive. No, we've got hardly 8. We haven't got 3 really. So the Touter, a couple of you are going to have to join the line. So walk over there, and then you're aggressive. We've got 2 javelins. Oh, and the Foresters can go with them. And then we've got the 2 javelin units as well. Group those together, move them. And then the 3 strike. You can just go to there. Everyone sprint. See how we do. Oh, they're moving to meet us. Ah, no, yeah, they're just repositioning. Perfect. So we've got all the time we need. Right, so melee line, go to there. And then once everyone's actually in position, we can then lock the group and move as one large group. It's the main archers that are going to be the problem. We've got 2 banks of archers. We don't really need 2 lines of archers, do we? Now, we have obviously way more ranged options than they do, and that's something we can absolutely use to our advantage. But at the minute, they don't really know what they're doing, but they've repositioned and retooled and refocused. But once everyone's in position, we'll lock the group and just move the whole army as one. Which does then mean we've got to regroup everyone afterwards, but it's not the end of the world. Go on, Cav, get into position. Now, if we can go and do damage to them with archers, they will come back and hit us, actually. So maybe if we can run them forwards and start shooting at the enemy, we might be able to do it. Go on, go and shoot at people. I want you to hit those Eisenmach Axemen very much. Danish Spears. Oh, you're taking a bit of a pounding. They're shooting back at you, aren't they? Hit Wolf Swords. You keep going on the Hunters. 2% plays 6%. Maybe when they run out of arrows, they'll think they'll need to charge us. Mayhaps. They've got a bit of a defense, though, because they are in the trees at the moment. But I'd much rather these guys use up all their arrows now, because they lower our morale as well as the enemy. Collateral damage, a very real thing. Oh, it looks like they might be taking the bait. Pull the 2 further ones back. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Never say absolutely, though. The AI has a really annoying tendency of getting really close to you and then turning around and sprinting away. It's always very, very annoying. Right, let's just slow it down for a second. Down to 2. Defensive line, I want you to be defensive, and I would like you to move slightly further down the hill, please. Javelins just behind. Come and form a long line there. And then you archers, who are just about to start firing, I want you to move further forward. I want you all to sprint. And then you guys are going to come back up the hill and take the high ground at the top there. Perfect. Alright. You fellows, a couple of you are hiding, so they don't know you exist yet, but move round. And the Filani herders, if you could not run away when you get to the position where you can throw things at them. Right, they've taken the bait. We no longer are on the defensive. All of our archers are able to fire. You are about to be charged by Eisenmach Raiders. Oh, the worst matchup. They're going to shred you. Bugger. Alright, so our Tauta have basically been taken out of the game in one fell swoop by those Raiders. But what are you going to do? Alright, Javelins. Let's get you down and get you involved. Our archers should all now be firing. You've got plenty of targets and you've got fantastic vision over them as well, so just hit them. That left-hand side's going to need help. Definitely going to need help. Javelins on the mounted warband if you can. Gallo, have you ever been to Sarret? It's a village between Watford and Hemel Hempstead. Not only have I been to Sarret, Tom Less, but for a long time I used to play for Chipperfield Corinthians football team, and Sarret were our derby game. Not only because Sarret and Chipperfield are sort of rivals in the footballing world, but also because the manager of our team and the manager of the Sarret football team also knew each other in some other vein of life. So it was a real rivals game when we used to play them. And I specifically remember the Sarret game because, and I'm going to bore many of you now, but this battle is basically already over. We beat them I played for Chipperfield for a long time. We only played Sarret once when I played for them, and we beat them. This was when I was about 18. And I was a goalkeeper. I don't play football much anymore, sadly. But anyway, we beat them. And we beat them. The winning goal was one of our players was fouled about halfway between the halfway line and the enemy box. And the enemy player who fouled us was so annoyed that the ref had said he'd fouled us that he kicked the ball away. And it went about maybe 10 metres to the left. And then our player, Tristan Dicker, he then kicked from that spot. He kicked the free kick from where the ball ended after the player kicked it away. And that meant that the opposing team had all set up in the wrong positions, and he was able to curl it around their defenders, the ones who were watching, and our striker ran on and headed it in, and they were absolutely livid that the ref allowed him to take the free kick from that spot. It almost came to blows, honestly. The managers were at each other's throats, and our manager Martin Dicker, who also happened to be the father of Tristan Dicker, He was adamant. Your player kicked the ball away, and we just took the free kick from where he kicked it, and the ref allowed it, and we won. And they were so angry. I've never seen a group of 18 to 19-year-olds want to murder another group of 18 to 19-year-olds so much than in that game. And it's one of those odd ones that's just then stayed in my memory for all this time. And we won 1-0, which is just fantastic. But you may not have been interested in football at all, and none of that may have made sense. But I thought I'd tell you anyway, because that's my little Sarret anecdote. Question says Rafal Olszewski. That's how I'm going to guess with that. Question: can I somehow get the same music as you have? I of course love the Lord of the Rings, but some diversity would be welcome. Well, the music is easily one of the easiest things to mod in the game. I can give you a download for the music that I use for YouTube, which we give to any YouTuber who asks for free, copyright-free music. I can give you the download of the music that we use, but it won't have then any Lord of the Rings music. So you'll have, you won't have a half and half. But I would honestly recommend just looking up Medieval 2 adding music. It is so easy. There is an unpacker tool you have to download, but it's available on Total War Center. And it unpacks all the sound files. And then all you need to do is go into the text sound files and just add the songs you want. And it's all done on a text editing document. It's really straightforward. Oh, we only lost 400 people and they lost 1,400. Dear, dear. I barely paid attention to that one. Just set the lines up and watch us win. Enemy armies without generals, when you've got a lot of archers, specifically a lot of archers, are such easy battles. The archers just do everything. 151 Druidine, 161 Fowland Warrior. Well done, Fowland Warriors. Beating even the archers out. Well, that's fantastic. There's a very cool artist depiction of Smaug falling to his death amid the burning ruins of Lake Town, which of course he did himself, with the black arrow of Bard the Bowman sticking out of the weak spot on his breast. 10 meters equals 30 foot. Will says the music is just from the base game, Raphael. Much of it is from the base game, that's correct, but some of it is added by the creators Vindsvept and Adrian von Ziegler on YouTube, who both very kindly allow anyone to use their music as long as you credit them in the description of the video, which is why if you've ever actually read the description of any of my videos, it always says music created by Vindsvept and Adrian von Ziegler, with a link to their YouTube channels. And it's just really nice, it's good sort of fantasy-esque music. I listen to it quite a lot when I'm working, actually. I listen to classical music almost all day, every day when I'm working. I don't like music with words in when I'm trying to focus, but I like having something in the background. I just can't work in silence. Never been able to. And to be honest, I often do listen to music with words in when I'm doing a very mind-numbing task. Anything really, really, really administrative, generally speaking, I won't worry about there being words in the music. Alright, so Argond is going to fall when I end the turn, and they definitely won't rise up to attack us. They don't have the strength. And Byrig will then hopefully fall thereafter, with the main Dunlanding force sent to relieve it, having been beaten. So we are, hopefully, in this episode, I don't have to rush off at the end, so if we have to go an extra 5-10 minutes just to see the script conclude, then we will do. But we need to, of course, defeat Byrig, where we find Chieftain Yagthak the Bloody, the actual faction leader, from the start of the game. They've done what we've done and just left him in the city that he started in and not bothered using him. So that he doesn't die, of course. Protection. But we can end the turn. There's nothing else that we're doing. Oh. Go on then. Yes, we didn't lose anyone. Good. And again, good. Breeze just destroying his one Dunlanding army. Sending them round and round and round and round. Right, once we've taken Argon, there's no threat from Dunland north of the river, so the army will jump in the ship and head over to try and get to Byrig quickly. It's not to help the Byrig army attack, but in case Byrig gets attacked by some Dunlanding army that we don't know about. Oh no, speaking of Dunlanding armies we don't know about, do Dunland still have the Barrow Downs? Because if they don't, then taking Argond will make them go below 3 regions and their last stand army will spawn.
Glorious victory.
And I think that may be what's about to happen. I can't see the borders of the Barrow Downs at the moment. We know need to do that. Byrig has been besieged. Oh, I think they might still have the Downs. Oh, Stoletzer Khan has been retaken by Khan. Well done. Dunlandings really don't like me now. They were on the fence about me before, but now that I've destroyed 50% of their population and taken all of their regions, they've now decided firmly that we are not good guys.
Ships ready.
They probably had to have some sort of council meeting to arrange and come to that conclusion. Right, we'll leave behind the Fowland border guards and 1 Touter unit, and everyone else can jump in the ship. Because look, we can train some farmhand pikes straight off the bat. Nice, 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 nice. Do we need anything here, really? Grove of Stories, maybe. Shipwright. Oh, Thaabad building its bridge. Oh, it's 2 turns till that, so you can build something in Argon. Let's get the roads in. Let's get the Master Carpenter's hut while we can. Alright, what's the closest to Byrig we can get? Or the best roads are up at Thaabad. So if you dismount in the swamp land there, you can use that main road to get down to Byrig.
No further.
The Dunland army does not need to have that many troops in it. If we leave behind the farmhand and the border guard, and I don't know, maybe the Mordag fisherman, and then just go and stand, or go and attack him. Yeah, bugger off, mate. Off you go. Off you plod, son.
Victory.
Yes, Dunland is losing people, but that's not the end of the world. Oh, and Dunyard was training an army as well, wasn't it? Of course. And it's pretty much trained it. We're making so much money with 3 full armies. It's fantastic. But right, Argond is in our hands once again. That Dunland army is not going to win anything. And I think Dunland do have 3 provinces then. We're not bothered about what happens to Dunland after Byrig falls. I don't really need to defeat them. That's not part of our victory conditions. Shout out to Adrian von Ziegler. His music is a big part of why I love this channel. Oh, well, thank you. I absolutely love Adrian von Ziegler's work. I have purchased basically everything that he's put up for sale. And I listen to them regularly. Annie von Edmund says, Gallo, how is it living in the UK? I plan to move to Wales. I presume you mean move to Wales from somewhere outside the UK. The UK is, to be honest, a fantastic place to live in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, there will be a lot of people that will tell you how crap things in the UK are, but just to name a very few things, we have virtually no gun crime, so you have you don't have to worry about getting to an argument with your neighbour and fearing that they might come and then shoot you. We have very little crime in general, to be honest. It's a very, very safe country. And of course we have things like free healthcare, and it's in terms of the world as on the world stage, it is a relatively good place to live. But Wales doesn't have very many people, so if you are going to move to Wales, you have to be prepared. Bugger, that's Dunland's last stand army. You have to be prepared for the fact that there's not very much to do if nature is not your thing. I don't think in a month of Sundays we're going to defeat Guillermin's army. Wolf's pikes, wolf swords, 2 Dunhead slayers, 3 pikes, berserkers. He's got 4 cav units. I mean, that back lot isn't that good. And we've dealt with wolf's units before. We've got a lot of archers. And Carouillon is here. I will allow the AI to control him. He's definitely going to die. He's absolutely going to die, I'm afraid. See, we do outnumber... Oh, we're going to have to fight it. We're going to have to fight it. Because if we can at least crush this army, break the back of it, then Makar coming over from Argond can do the damage. Someone from Greece, possibly Greece, maybe from Eastern Europe. I don't know what language that is. Hi Galu, DaC question. Dwarfs. What about unique general when player restores Dane tools and Gundabad? Oh, unique. We could give the dwarves scripts, but they just don't really need them, to be honest. Oh, look at this hill. What a blessing. It's a blessing. A blessing from the Lord. That's a nice bit there. That's a nice flat. Because annoyingly, that bit's in the bloody trees. I hate fighting in trees. And we've got this flaming good hill, and we've decided to walk to the bottom of it. Why are we standing up there? Why would you choose to meet the enemy here? Foolhardy generals. It's not actually a very good hill. It's at that kind of bad slope where your archers will shoot your own troops more than the enemy. That hill over there maybe is a bit better. If we can put the melee forces down there, the archers at the back, yes.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
Oh, God. I didn't check the reinforcements, did I? I thought there was only one. There's more than one army. Oh, gods above. Right, so... Bugger is being my official response. We've got to deal with this army all the while that Dunland's best army is walking up behind us. And this army's got loads of good stuff in it. Who is leading this bloody army? Oh, this is the army from the city itself. No, that is Chieftain Yagthak. Oh, God above. Right, do we think we could sprint up here quicker than they can get in? Almost certainly not, but they don't have any archers, though. Oh, dear, oh dear. If only we'd started up here, everything would have been fine. I think we've got to try and run to just this ridge here. There's almost no other alternative. Come out of that so that you can sprint. Come out of that so that you can sprint. Just go, 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 just go. Have we got a cavalry unit? Yeah, we have. Don't be on skirmish. Archers, don't be on skirmish because you'll get in each other's way. The one thing I think I could count on was that they've got to sort of walk in and they don't actually do anything until they've walked in. Alright, pause it quickly. Units that might be able to hold a line. All of you guys group together. Team 1. Try and run to here. Now, remember, there is a guy up here, but he is just a single soul unit, so I'm really not worried about him. Oh, in fact, he's a ballista crew. So just charge the cav into that. It is just one ballista, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we'll charge the cav into that, and that'll deal with them. Right, so that melee line, where was I just sending you? Itchy back, itchy back. About there, maybe. Yes, and then we've got all of those archers grouped together. Team, whatever. Pause and unpause. You guys run to there. Touter, you're going to take the right-hand side. And just fend off anything that comes that way for now. Take the skirmishers with you. Stand behind. Sprint, everybody sprint, everybody sprint. And then we've got the final 4 archers. Oh no, it's all going wrong. You form your own group and sell out the charts if you would. Come and form that left hand side. Reform the melee line a touch. Let's get the archers in slightly better positions. You guys can go there and you guys can go there. Now remember, the goal of today is not to win. Well, I mean, it is to win. I mean, that's a very silly thing to say. The goal, of course, is to win. But the goal really and chiefly is to try and kill as many of these fools as we possibly can. Who's that over there that's going to get caught? The pikes. You are absolutely going to get caught, but you're very good against cavalry, so you might as well just charge that cavalry unit. Or just sort of walk towards them a bit. That also helps. Yeah, I think that works. Why are you not running to where I told you to go? Oh, they're moving away to form up with the bulk of the army. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So we can just come back here. The cavalry went and got the ballista crew, yeah. I don't know. For now, just go up the hill.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
See what happens, see what happens. So there's the main army that we're worried about, which is now actually coming completely on our right-hand side. Our main defensive line is now totally in the wrong place. So Cal over there. Our archers are also... We've now given up the hill as well. This is how not to fight a battle with Gallo. It's been a while since we've done a battle really just downright awfully. So it felt like it was time.
Our ally lies dead.
Oh, he's dead already.
We must help his men avenge him.
He's quite literally rushed ahead of his army, charged straight into the enemy general, and instantly died. So that's how good the AI is with cavalry, chariots specifically. Have you guys killed that ballista crew yet? Ah, yeah, they're finishing them off. Oh, there's only 5 left. Yeah, that was a good. That was good from them. So at least we don't have to worry about the ballista crew. All right, you guys can drop your. Drop those. As long as the archers can get use.
For defeat seems almost certain.
Don't you be shrouding us in doubt, voiceover man. Defeat is not certain. It's not looking good, I'll grant you, but it's not certain. There's the Guardians of Dunland.
Good
that
tidings.
is...
The enemy general lies dead.
Which enemy general? Please be Yagthak.
Behold how our cowardly
No,
foe
it's that one
runs.
over there, isn't it?
It's time to press the attack.
Right, Cav, you can come out and get involved. Our reinforcements are at least harassing the back line of the enemy. It's just our archers aren't really doing anything at the moment, are they? Let's try and get them out. Those archers can form a much wider line. Oh, look, the enemy's coming for you, archers, actually. Eisenbach Axemen. Cavalry, try and stop them. They've almost completely neutered our archers. I say they have. We have almost completely neutered our archers by just starting facing the enemy general. I was so sure there was only the 2 units that we had to fight against, but there's so one of those units has to fight them, then so be it. The others can at least still fire, surely. Right, you guys. Now let's start shooting things, please. We are going to lose this. We are going to lose this hard. But just this isn't Warhammer, so as many as we can kill, every single unit killed is an advantage. And 20% of the enemy has died. That's no small feat. It doesn't really matter if we win, though. This is literally Dunland's last gasp. Although our northern side is completely cut out, gutted. Eisenmach Axeman up there just trashing us. Everyone running away. You can hit those raiders, but it won't really do anything. It's not going to achieve anything. There's Chieftain's Bodyguard moving in on them. Oh, and the general's on that left-hand side. Do we want to spare Donkaith's life and just quit the battle now before he dies? In fact, he may have already just died. Where are you, Donkaith? Oh no, he's on the other side. Oh, well done, sir. He's decided he won't die today, and he'll stand on the other side. That wolf pipe unit. Nah, we're gonna fight to the very bitter end. Kill as many as we can. Although much of our army is dead, and now I think it's probably better to just call it what it is and just get out now.
We've been dealt a stinging
1,500 just because I quit early doors. Oh, come off it. I'm not even going to look at the end stats. We got totally shafted there because I just didn't check what armies were attacking us. Oh well. Mokar's coming in from Argonne. It's not like Dunland's going to resurge like a phoenix from the ashes. They might at best take Dunlerac back, but they're not going to do anything. It's over for them.
We can go no further, my lord.
There we are. We got back to Dunlerac. Dunland's pulling everything they can down to Byrig, so we're going to have to form an army to actually deal with them. That's fine. We'll just keep throwing troops at it until they break. So I will not be completing the Thaabad script in this episode. Oh yeah, go on.
Your orders.
Not the Thaabad script. Sorry, the Enedwaith script.
Yes, my lord.
With honor, orders.
Take all of those because they can probably then merge further. Yes. There we are. The army can all merge. Caruion is the only one that died, but he was always going to die. Whether by their hand or whether by someone else's, he was not long for this world.
Yes, my lord.
There we are. And Makar can now come through. Train what you can. We need everything we can get up. Oh, of course. Dunyard has just trained a very elite army. Well, maybe not elite, but a very good army. I'll take all of that. I might as well take the mercs. Man, then the merc you might as well just die off. So we'll take everything other than the 2 border guards. Because you're training more troops, aren't you? Oh, you're retraining those. Yeah, look, you can train even more units. Go on, keep training. We make even more money now that army's died. Bregnas is building, but you don't need 3 troops. So let's take the Fowlham border guard out, I think. Head it. You can give us a couple of units. In fact, you can give 4 units, and you can train them all immediately. That's not bad. Get yourself a muster ground and roads. No. Let's get the carpenter's hut there while we can. Elkford isn't building. Oh, you can get mines. They're useless, but you can get them. Our Fisherman's Guild House. Yeah, I'll take that. You might as well up the tax rate. So that you're still growing, but just high enough. The Ardenaim are at war with Mordor again, and they've broken their alliance with Harad again. That's nice to see. So Mordor are being attacked on all fronts. Alright, that is pretty much going to conclude, but before we do, I will just toggle the Fog of War and see what is going on in the world. Because remember, this is also the latest version of DaC, and so this is just me testing DaC. Just happened to do it for your pleasure. Harlond has fallen to the Ardenaim, that's interesting. So they took Mithlond back, but they didn't get Harlond back. That's very ballsy. And the Ardenaim, oh, as expected, Gondor has been absolutely trounced. Elend has fallen to Mordor. Gondor's hold is now only on Western Gondor. But Isengard, of course, are not strong enough to do anything. But I'm interested to see that Mordor and Rohan don't appear to be at war with each other. No, they're not. Oh, look at that. Look at the silence on the eastern front there. There's no troop movement at all. Lothlorien are doing Dol Guldur, and doing them right in. Of course, Gundabad was wiped out early in this one to stop them crashing the game non-stop. Angmar have massively moved into that void, and Angmar are doing really well because of it. They've even got Oskelon. They might have gotten to a point where they're greater than all of their foes combined. Dunland are now down to just Coloniac, although they're trying to take Tir Thuin with their new faction heir, Konkar, and of course Byrig. But we'll take Byrig, we'll deal with that. Captain Lachline is coming up to Dunlarak. Makar is coming down. We've got more than enough forces to deal with whatever Dunland wants to throw at us. So we should be able to kill them off and wipe them out. And then we will turn our attention to Rohan, to be honest. So we'll get most of our provinces from Rohan, and then we'll have to just have a look and see where we're going to go after that. But Khand have been essentially wiped out because they decided with the Blue Wizards. Although they have got Ankaragmir, bizarrely. I don't know how they've managed that. And the Ardenaim, of course, going up the coast and now bringing their war to Mordor, which will actually save Gondor. Are they allied to Gondor? What's the Ardenaim's thought process on Gondor? No, they have no allies. They're enemies with everyone around them. Except Harad. Oh, brilliant. So the Ardenaim probably won't bring much pain to Mordor because Harad are going to smash into the side of them any minute now and wipe them out. But, nevertheless, they are helping Gondor a bit. Dol Amroth still have Mithras Dol Amroth. But that's it. So Dol Amroth are not doing well. We could always sweep in and hit Gondor, but of course I really don't want to fight Mordor. We've fought Mordor in many of our other campaigns, including the Anduin. We're going to fight them in the Anduin. And this is one where I don't really want to fight Mordor. We're definitely going to fight Rohan. So our main late game enemy will be Rohan, because Isengard seem to have been... We're going to be killing Dunland at the right time here so that we can swoop in and help with this situation. Maybe we could then backstab Isengard as well so that we get Isengard. But I think we could probably get our 10 provinces from Isengard, Rohan, and maybe then hitting a couple of Mordor provinces or coming north and maybe hitting Angmar. But it's all looking quite interesting. It's interesting with the Gundabad fall that Angmar and the dwarves do the best out of that, with the Anduin actually suffering significantly. Oh, there's an Anduin late game city. Yes, you can see what they look like. They can't in my other campaign because, of course, the script was bugged, but you can here. That is what the late game Wildman cities look like. Ours will look like that as well, so it's a bit of a spoiler, really. But we'll see that. I mean, we'll see that anyway. It's only a campaign strategy model. It's not really a story spoiler. Dorwinion and Rune aren't... they're backing four things. So Mornadel is held by Rune, Viltur, but Dorwinion have got all the way up to Burst South. So Dol Guldur doing very poorly. It's a bit of an interesting game world, really, isn't it? Very interesting with the Ardenaim war on Mordor. I like that. I do like that. That speaks to the vanity of the Ardenaim, to their great belief that they are the strongest nation in the world. We could go to war with them and take Harlond, but I don't really see a need, to be honest. The elves will mop Harlond up any time, so I don't think we need to go up there and take that. But anyway, that's going to conclude it. So for now, thank you very much for tuning in today. I think our series high is right now as we're ending the... or the viewership high today, sorry, is right now, just as we end, with 373 people watching right now. So welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you for watching along today. I hope you have an absolutely smashing Saturday, and I hope the weather for you is as good as it is for me. Very sunny indeed. No cat today, I'm afraid. She's sleeping on the bed, where she often buggers off to. But have a smashing day, and until we speak again, dear friends...